Here we go. My name is Jonathan Bannister. I'm your Senior VP of Leadership Development. Welcome to our April agent meeting. And no, it's not an April Fool's. We are literally on the first Wednesday of April. So welcome. So glad that you're all able to make that. This is going to be a very impactful meeting for all of you. We're going to share some very relevant training tonight, and I'm excited to get kicked off. So getting started, what we're going to cover, what's going well in the agency, announcements, new releases, training. We're going to cover building successfully during uncertain times, and we have an April promotion. So let's get things kicked off. What are your wins for the month? Don't hesitate. If you have anything you'd like to share, please go ahead.
Mr. Bannis, go for it.
Who we got?
I'll go first.
Okay, Dr. Glenn, go ahead.
Hey, in LA last week on, I believe it was Tuesday, we had our first virtual agent LA meeting. There were 9 of us, and we each committed to do at least 10 downloads on behalf of our charities that we're most passionate about. And in LA, we just launched a new charity, A Second Chance for Boys, which is a program that allows the transition of foster youth, particularly boys, after age 18 to create a safety net. And the administrator for that particular charity reached out to a political official that was really jazzed about Dynamic and supporting that charity.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Dr. Glenn. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share?
I can go in.
Go ahead, Kishan. You look frozen.
You hear me?
Yep, now we can.
So, I was asked early in the month to be on the board of directors with the nonprofit that I sponsored for Project 43. Some good things have been happening around that with a lot of other nonprofits and associations, and we were awarded the ability to actually be to start giving out food. And someone donated a freezer for us so we can get into a second stage of that. But we need a facility because the day that we'll hand out the food, we have to pick it up that day and give it out that day. So that was a big plus. I just went by there the other day. We started on the wall that we were building for the community. And then we're still trying to, as a group, get on a Zoom call together so we can participate in something like this. So we're still moving, because with any nonprofit, most people want to see what you're actually doing, not what you plan to do, but what you are actually doing. So we're still moving and we're still doing.
That's beautiful. Wow, thank you for sharing, Kishan. Anyone else like to share?
I will.
Go ahead.
So I just got off off another conference call right now with our local Relay for Life. Obviously, everything is canceled with all the stay-at-home orders and everything. But now a lot of the relays are going virtual, and so of course, it's a great thing for us. It's very unfortunate that the timing on all of this, all of the shutdown and everything, because we were just rolling out Relay. So we're taking a step back. We're regrouping on that, but people are getting excited about virtual fundraising now, virtual relays, and of course, Dynamic just fits right into that. So that was nice. Yeah, that was nice. So I heard about some of the relays I'm actually working with have decided to go virtual. So we'll tag into that.
Can you tell us how a virtual relay works? I'm just
it's a new thing. It's a new thing. So we're gonna jump into somebody else's virtual relay and see what they're doing. So basically it's still fundraising, but they're going Facebook Live and they're like doing laps around their neighborhood, or they're doing whatever they can to fundraise. And it's a 12-hour or 24-hour event. So we're all putting ideas together right now on this. And I think a lot of the nonprofits are going to have to go into virtual fundraising because there's so many events that got canceled. They're going to be in high competition with each other when all this lets up. Everybody's going to want to reschedule their events. It's going to be high competition. And then everybody's, of course, so aware of financial things now with being out of work and all that. So I just think Dynamic is just such a perfect fit because, again, we're not asking people to take money out of their pockets. Just do what you're going to do anyway. Just do, use your app to go to Amazon and order your pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. Thanks for sharing.
Well, we got to get innovative, right?
Yeah, we do. That I did not expect that, but that was really, really informative. Let me see. You know what, you guys? We got to go into the next segment. So we're going to be moving forward. We have our announcements. So obviously this has been a dramatic few weeks. If you guys have been watching the news, I know we just heard a little update from ACS and they're having to do virtual relays for life. And in light of that, I just want everyone to know that we have an email that's going to be going out to all Dynamic Pay users, letting supporters know that Dynamic as a company is here for them, and they can get cash back and brands on companies that they need to shop from and get it delivered to them, which right now, obviously you can understand those are huge points because money is tight and also people are worried about getting sick from touching cash, from getting out and having to wear a mask. And you know what? This Dynamic app can definitely help with that issue. We're also going to have follow-up emails released. So this is going to be best practices to re-engage agents and organizations during uncertain times, and then customized emails for each vertical. So more to come. We're even working on a follow-up email that will be drafted for any potential prospects that you have that might be agents, organizations, to share with them that, maybe now is the time to start a virtual fundraising. Now, maybe now is the time to have another way to make some extra income while you're waiting this little storm out and you're in a shutdown mode. So with that being said, we're going to move forward. So here, we're going to bring on our trainer for the evening, and that is none other than Senior VP of Market Development, Mr. Frager, and he is going to train building successfully during uncertain times.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Well, let me start by saying it's nice to see all of your faces and glad to be here with all of you here tonight. The three of us as senior VPs, Jonathan and Heather and I spoke a week or so ago as we were considering what kind of a training would be the fitting one to kick off the month of April, especially as we are now in the middle of a terribly difficult time period. Things that we wouldn't do, we wouldn't say, let's go take advantage of this time, because that just seems cruel and wrong. We wouldn't tell people to take their eye off of their health, their family. We wouldn't be unreasonable with our organizations, with our agents. But the question is, what could we do? And I'd like to talk to you fireside chat, Joel, not Joel, fireside Joel. Because this whole matter of what's happening in the United States and around the world is a personal one for me. We have to be real about what's going on. Less than 3,000 people in the United States of America have already died of the COVID virus. And yet the White House announced yesterday, as we all know, that somewhere between 100,000 and 240,000 people, I'm sure Marcia Glenn in the medical field knows this as well, are expected to die here in the United States alone. Globally, a couple million. Why am I sharing such a terrible detail? Because the peak of what's happening with the virus is expected to be the next 24 days. And so that means that we're not winding down. We've already had a totally different month of March than history. But as all of us are sitting here tonight, and as this message goes out to those of our teams that are going to catch the recording, we're living during a historic time period, something that you and I, no one here on this Zoom tonight has ever lived through. The last time there was an epic pestilence or tragedy as this was in 1918, 1919 with the Spanish flu. And for some of us here on the call, you're dealing with situations that you never had to deal with before in your life. 4 million people last week filed for unemployment. That's 4 million people that had a job last week and now don't. Many of you as parents are dealing with your children are underfoot. That was not unexpected because you may have to work from home in your job still and have to figure out how to keep your kids from going stir crazy. Some of you have family members or friends that have been touched by the virus already. Right before this call, a friend of mine in Oregon called me. She's only in her 20s and she was just diagnosed with COVID-19. In Europe, you know, Cindy and I, we travel around the world. Sadly, I've lost 7 of my friends already to death with the COVID virus in Europe. Now, I did not get on this call to be Debbie Downer. But I want to give you a few building blocks just to keep it brief and straightforward tonight that I hope will do for you what it's doing for me and my business. And if you'd like to take notes, I encourage you to do so. But I'd like for you to readjust the way you approach your business and your life in a couple of ways. Because right now, with everybody upside down, with the economics ridiculously askewed, the market has plummeted, a 401k, people, my goodness, they puke it when they look at what it's worth right now. When we get to the other side of the virus, which in this country is expected to peak in 24 days, how many of us understand that the economy will not return likely to where it was before? Economists are already calling for a deep recession, if not a full-blown depression. Now, we could walk away and say, well, Dynamic was a fun ride. I got to move on. It's not going to work. Or we could stop and consider that with the right approach, we could be the beacon of light or the beacon of hope to the people that we talk to. And I'm going to show you in a few moments a few slides to help with that. Jonathan, if we could go to the next slide, please. What I'd like for you to consider is how we can possibly maintain or rebuild momentum during a time period where we have to be very strategic. Where can we go and find individuals? Well, I could spend a whole hour talking about this, but could you guys write down 3 words that I believe are absolutely pivotal? Some of you may have heard me train on this in just general Facebook trainings, but I think this is important. As leaders, we are called upon to lead. We don't sit still. Yes, we take care of our health. Yes, we have to put masks and gloves on to go to the store. Some people still don't get the importance of that. Yes, we have children underfoot. Yes, we're cutting into reserves from our savings or our accounts. Many of us filing SBA loans and grants and all. We all know the drill. So there's lots of stuff going on. But as leaders, we can't just sit still and catch up on Netflix, can we? It's not the time to just blitz all of the TV shows we've missed. Because right now, if we're hurting, how many of us would agree that the charities we care for are hurting equally or more so? We all agree? And how many of us would agree that the businesses that we want to offer help to, the small business is under attack right now? Many of them will never return because of the extent of what the economy is doing. And so if there's a hope for them, it's going to come with coming up with a plan now that will help them on the other side of the virus to retain their employees and their customers, to attract them back. You heard Brenda a moment ago mention virtual, programs there with ACS, American Cancer Society. Who would have thunk it? But here's what I'd like to ask you to write down. 3 words as we lead. Lead with empathy. Lead with empathy. Some of you are scratching yourself right now like this, and you're saying, wait a minute, this is Joel. Doesn't he have more shark attributes? Isn't he the guy that's always interested in let's drive momentum, let's drive? Yep, true. That's a strong part of who I am. But if you were to approach anybody, organization, business, or agent, without leading with empathy, you're dead in the water. So here's an idea if you're taking notes. We're going to share a few slides in a moment. But as you go and consider your list, why not reach out to your social contacts on social media? I was pointed out today, why not go into your neighborhood? How many of you have neighborhood threads? It's an actual app now where all the neighbors say where there's, did you see my cat? You know, the police were siren. You know, we all have neighborhood threads. You're going to find that there are a lot of people right now unemployed. There are a lot of people looking. There are a lot of people depressed. You have family, you have friends, you have colleagues, you know, why not reach out to them? But before you ever bring up dynamic, why not say, hey, I was thinking of you. How are you getting along? Not I was thinking of you, are you open to other ways you can make money? Not I was thinking of you, do you want to help your charities? Too fast. You've heard me talk about double Dutch. This has to be slow double Dutch. The opposite of what I normally teach. Hey, Jan, listen, I was looking through my phone contacts and I saw you in here. We haven't talked in 3 years. How you doing? You know, I had to hit the phone and dial. How are your family getting along? The kids okay? Is everyone's health good? How's this impacted you? And when the time is right, how's it impacted your work? And if you feel that the double Dutch leads you in the right direction, ask the question, would you be open to looking at something that's completely home-based that you could do to create opportunity for some much-needed causes and for your own family's budget during these dark days? Would you be open? Gentle, easy peasy program. If there's no bite there, Jan doesn't see anything, she's holding back, don't even approach it. Wish her well, tell her to keep in touch. What are some other things you can do? Jonathan, next slide, please. Encourage the people that have apps to just simply do as you've already heard by the experiences, to use their membership. People have to shop. We still have all the businesses that are in shops and stores that are done online. Take the time to send out a message to your app users, to the causes that have your app users. Remind them of the up to 15% cashback they get. Let them know that simply shopping through the app is going to go ahead and create a huge difference to the charities that they've already believed in that are struggling to just stay alive right now. As the last bullet says, now more than ever, we need to support local businesses, charities, and communities. But most of the people we talk to don't have the financial reserves to just make donations because everyone's struggling right now. What better way to give to charity, to give to causes than just to shop for your basic needs? Who would have thought it? Toilet paper on Amazon could go ahead and save a charity. I mean, with the amount of toilet paper that's been pilfered, that could like start a charity, I think, right now. Our next bullet, communicate with your organizations. I love the big bold print. Here's the message. Not let's go, let's go, let's go. How about this one? I'm here for you. True or false? Businesses and nonprofits are closing down. Many of them are going to be bankrupted by this awful virus. Well, do you think it's a time to pounce on them? No. It's a time for empathy. Sometimes people don't know what empathy is. The difference between sympathy and empathy. You can show sympathy for someone when they lose their mate or the love of their life. You feel pain for them. But empathy is when you feel their pain in your heart. Let me say it again. The easiest definition of empathy is your pain in my heart. When you're talking to organizations, everyone that's closing down is going to have to find a way to rebuild when this is done. Do you think they'll be attracted to someone that was without empathy or someone that showed concern for them? Do you think it's a good time to sow seeds in the relationship? Let them know if they're a profitable company, how you're here for their employees. You're here to help them as they're getting through this tough time. If they still have an active company, can we help to create this program for you so your employees can save money, your customers can save money when they shop and do good for them, for your business and for the charity. Discuss with them how our platform at Dynamic can help them to save money and help them to go ahead and build money for their organization all at the same time. All at the same time. Could we go to the next slide there, please, Jonathan? And Jonathan, you'll forgive me. I just somehow got blanked out here. Here we go. Next slide, please. Here we go. Oh, we skipped one, didn't we, Jonathan? Or did I just miss it? Go back one, please. Yes, thank you. It's my bad, Jonathan. Finally, so we talked about app users, your organizations. The third one is take time with your team. The reason we have a core group of people here is because you're all leaders. But why not have conversations with the team that wants to build, but right now they're a little lost? Why not remind them that they don't have to do a disservice to their clients or compromise their own financial stability during uncertain times? When everybody else is scraping, looking for a way to make money, why not remind them what we have with Dynamic? Our program is a money-saving program for groceries, for Uber Eats, for just about anything we need. How can that help you and your family team? How can that help your clients? And then leave them with this question. What can I do to make these next and profitable? You know what I like better than the last bulleted point? What can not I do? What can we do together to make these next 30 days meaningful and profitable? At the end of this this terrible period in history, when all the dust settles, people are going to rebuild and get back to the core basics of what they need to do to survive. Humans are survivors. But what we will have done in the way of leading with empathy is going to make a difference. Now, Dynamic has provided something, again, during this tough time that we want to share on the next slide that can incentivize those of you that would like to work and focus on building some team, knowing that if a person gets started now and does the things that we tell them to do to get to marketing director or VP, they can go ahead and not only accelerate their foundation, by the time the virus is through, they'll have a core team ready to go out and really go after organizations and businesses. So this is to announce to you for the month of April, with the approval of our CEO, the following bonus promotions. Number one, 5, 5, 5. 5 agents, 5 shares of the app, 5 purchases, get you to MD. If you happen to do 5, 10, 15, 5 agents, 10 shares of the app, 15 purchases in your first 30 days as a person getting started in the business, you not only go ahead and get to marketing director, you get a sweet little $500 put into your mobile wallet of your app. And for any of you hot dogs out there that go after 10 agents in 30 days, that's the equivalent of talking to one person per day that sees the opportunity and goes to the landing page and reviews the videos. Those 30 should yield you a crop of 10. Any of you that get to 10 in your first 30 days, your new people can go, forget marketing director, just jump right past that to vice president. Enjoy $5 on every $25 app that's sold. Enjoy an override of $2 as your team goes after organizations and apps. You know, when's the best time to go ahead and build the foundation? When you have no other to do so. Build the foundation now, build your agency strong, get new people in where they have their agencies starting up and are reaching marketing director, reaching vice president, so that when the doors open for business with our charities and with our businesses that want to do the business incentives, we have a team running the relay, to steal from Brenda, going forward. Message for today, lead with empathy. Be persistent. Be directed. And whatever you do, don't sit back and just blitz movies. Go ahead and use the time productively. And most of all, stay safe and stay healthy. Especially you guys for the next 3 weeks. Would it be really good if we could stay close on the Facebook page and stay close as a team, because it's not unusual for us to know or to recognize that some of us are going to be affected. The governor said in California that 40 to 70% of all residents of California will contract COVID before it's through. That's a big bell curve. And none of us are wishing for doom, but if one of us is down, I remember the way you guys responded when I got diagnosed with my cancer. Shouldn't we be there for each other as well as leaders? So let's keep up that message. Are there any questions before we close out for the day? We'll field questions. Just unmute yourself if you have a question. I need to repeat any of the approaches or anything, that's fine as well.
I had a question.
Yes,
Our campaign started for Project 43 on 3/14, right dead dab in the center of COVID.
Yep.
I reached out to home office, and I think they said they were going to do a reset for us, but I don't think I've seen the reset yet. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where it
Just
just happened when it happened.
you're dealing with understaffing even at home office in Iowa. Just send a message to agent support at dynamicscript.com. Let them know you just need to know status. May take a couple days to get a reply, but you should be fine. If not, let me know.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Any other questions before we close? Okay, then. Well, congratulations for all of you that are finding your way through this. Please take extra precautions. Do not let me catch any of you posting a picture outside in the real world without a mask and gloves. As you know, that is the prime way to go ahead and avoid getting infected. And let's go ahead and lead with empathy. And on the other side of this, you guys, we will be stronger for our effort and for our persistence. I want to thank everyone for their time. Jonathan, I'll let you go ahead and close the meeting.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Frager. Really appreciate that. Very pertinent training for this evening. Well, everyone, as Mr. Frager mentioned, let's stay tight, let's stay close, let's help support each other, and let's make April a phenomenal month and lead with empathy. Have a great evening, everyone. I hope you have a great month.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.